Hello and welcome back to Unstrung Archery. In this electrifying episode, we're diving headfirst into the Barebow Revolution, a movement that's been redefining the archery landscape. And who better to guide us through this exciting journey than our special guest, the trailblazing Helen Brown, the first women's Barebow National Tour winner. So get ready for an episode that's bound to leave you inspired, informed, and on the edge of your seat. Hi guys, welcome to another episode with myself, Neil, and I've got Nye over here.
Hello there.
Today we are going to be exploring the Barebow Revolution, and to help us with that, we've got our special guest, Helen Brown, who was let me get this title right, the first women's Barebow National Tour winner. Is that the correct title, Helen?
Well, I don't know if it's the title, but it's certainly a fact, yeah.
Yes, definitely, and that's quite an achievement to come in with. Obviously, I know who you are, and obviously Nye knows who you are, and a lot of people that are regular on the archery scene will obviously know your name and probably met you several times. But do you want to start off with telling us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a Barebow target archer, and I'm based in Lancashire, and I shoot for Bowmen of Pendle and Samlesbury near Preston. So I've been shooting for around 8 years now, and I'm a Barebow archer. So that's my absolute passion, really. And yeah, like you say, I do some local competitions and whatnot, but I also try now to take part in things like the National Tour and any of the kind of more major target competitions rather for the Barebows are now accepted in. So yeah, it's a really fun kind of discipline. So that's me really. I don't really do field or anything like that. I am basically just target.
Okay. So what made you go for Barebow? Obviously we've got a couple of categories that we can choose from when coming into archery, but what was it about Barebow that drew you in?
Honestly, I went to a beginner's course. I did have a go, and I ended up signing up for a beginner's course at my old club, which doesn't exist anymore. And so we started our beginner's course Barebow. They didn't have any sights or anything on our bows, and then like a couple of weeks in, the guy in charge says, right, today we're gonna learn how to use the sights. I thought, oh, okay then, fair enough. So he popped a sight on my bow, and I was immediately like, oh no, don't like that. don't want to do that. So I asked, can I very kindly take it off, please, and just shoot without it? And he says, oh yeah, that's called Barebow. And I was like, well, that's what I want to do, please. So it was more, I didn't like the contraption in front of me. So I just kind of liked that it was me and my judgment and at that point I was literally just pointing and hoping. I wasn't doing any of the proper aiming techniques that Barebows use. But I just liked that it was just me and the bow and my judgment as to where to point the arrow and as to where it might end up. And I quite like that. It was more of a little kind of personal challenge. I just didn't feel like I was, being helped by anything. I think I'm just, I don't know, competitive in that I don't want any help with anything. A bit of a control freak, maybe. Enthusiast, I prefer.
Okay, so as you probably are aware, Helen, obviously my daughter picked up Barebow as well, and she was in a very similar situation. We went through the beginner's course, and as soon as we put that sight on her, it was like, nope, do not like that, take it off, please.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that it was a similar reaction to yourself.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I know there's going to be people across the country, whatever, who have done, who now shoot Barebow and maybe have not horror stories, but stories about beginners courses where they were, forced to use a sight and that. But really, if it's not the way you think you're going to go, then why not just go Barebow? And in the future, if you want to learn to do recurve, then stick a sight on and learn to use it, etc. But ultimately, just for me, it's all about just learning how to actually shoot, isn't it? That's the crux of it all.
Yeah, I feel like it's a more of a natural way of shooting. You know, you're more in tune with the bow itself rather than, you know, something else doing all the aiming for you.
Yeah, and some people will go to longbow for that as well. So you know, they're similar in that sense, in that there's no real contraptions, if you will, on your bow. I mean, I know we have obviously extra stuff in comparison to the longbows, but yeah, barebow is kind of a nod to recurve, but still sort of stripped back and a bit more of a purer form, if you will. There's going to be people shouting at this, I know it.
Yeah, because one thing I always notice with beginners course I'm running nowadays, more and more people want to shoot barebow as well. So it's becoming, so the amount of times I'll be teaching people, and they'll say, "Oh, I'll put the sights on," and they'll be sort of, "How do you find it?" "Oh, it's weird. I don't like that." So okay, so it's becoming more and more prevalent.
It's quite encouraging. It's really encouraging, actually. It's really encouraging to hear that.
I remember back in the Stone Age when I started, it was sort of pretty much a case of to hit any. It was very much seen as to hit anything you've got to shoot with sight, and obviously we all know with the likes of yourself and Kim now, that that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, that's very kind of you. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was the case where I didn't ever miss. But yeah, you're right. There's certainly barebow archers now, and like I say, very kind of you to include me in that. And Kim, I'm sure she'd thank you for that. Kim, everybody, by the way, is one of my she is my best friend, and she has been with me since day one in archery. And she also shoots barebow. In fact, she was just recently 4th in the national tour. So she's very good. But yeah, you've also got, you know, in like girls' side, certainly you've got Sarah Hubbard, who was just broken the world record.
Wow.
I was going to say, she just broke the 50-metre record, hasn't she?
She's just broken the 50-metre record at Meriden at the weekend with a score of 6.39 on a 7.20 round. So barebow, I mean, it's just incredible. You've got Ollie Hicks in the boys, you know, in the men's barebow, and he's smashing world records and European records. But also, you know, you've got your people here that maybe aren't shooting world records, but they're right up there. Wilco Van Cleef Bolton and Mark Turner and Steve Mitchell and Nadine Parker and people like that. They're all shooting really good high scores here in the UK, yeah.
And so with Sarah's score, you said about the 7.20 round world record that she's got. Just thinking for archers who aren't as familiar with rounds and things, just so we can give people some sort of context as to what this lady's achieved with it. She's achieved with this barebow. Perhaps you could tell us what the round constitutes.
Yeah, so the 7.20 round is basically 72 arrows. So each, you know, and the highest you can score with each arrow is 10, hence 7.20. So that's the highest score you can get on the 7.20 round. For barebows, we shoot it at 50 metres. And recurves and longbows shoot it at 70. We shoot it at 50, as do compounds. Now we shoot our barebow 50 metre 7.20 round at a large single face, so 122 centimetre face. And it's a fairly new round, having just been brought in the last couple of years by World Archery, especially for the barebows. And so, like I say, you know, the top score you can get on that round is 720. And Sarah shot 6.39, which is incredible accuracy for a barebow. I mean, of course it is. It's a world record. So
that's a hard score for anyone to get as well.
Unreal. It's unreal. It's so good.
Just to give a comparison to those people that haven't shot barebow before and understand that, you know, barebow is a natural instinct kind of aiming system. You know, you've got nothing really as accurate pinpointed where you're aiming like, you know, you would with a compound bow. So the current, as far as I can tell from what I can see on this list, at 50 meters on a compound was 715, which is currently held by Ella Gibson. That's with a compound bow. You can see there's not that much difference in points between what Sarah's score and Ella's score is. So it just tips a hat off to Sarah.
Absolutely,
That is an
absolutely.
absolutely
That's an incredible
fantastic score
achievement.
that she's achieved.
Yeah, considering the difference between those bows, because your compound bows are, as you say, you know, the right hands, very, very, very accurate, and they have all sorts of aids that will let you know that you are, you know, level and in the right place and all that kind of stuff. And we don't really we don't have that with Barebow. Just on as an aside to that, we also have so not only does Britain have the female world record holder, we also have the male world record holder for Barebow, and that is Oliver Hicks, who I believe is still a junior in terms of being under 18. But he is shooting 673 is his record.
Wow.
Yeah, I've just seen that now. That is
so we've got what we've got
incredible.
there in terms of the Barebow archers that we've got. And again, Nye, you were ever so kind including me in that. But we have some phenomenal archers, and the fact that we've got both world record holders, Ollie Hicks and now Sarah Hubbard. I mean, it's just an absolute.
That was the first day of the Hampshire Outdoor Tournament last year, wasn't it? That Oliver got that one.
Yeah, about September last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, just blow you away.
It does, and I can sit here and my daughter shoots Barebow. I don't know how she does it. I'm a compound archer myself. I do have a dabble in Barebow every now and then, and honestly. And there's a lot of compounders that will probably shoot me for saying this, but I do kind of like Barebow better.
All the cool kids shoot Barebow now.
Yeah,
I think with Barebow, it's one where if you want to follow, say, the route you've taken, Helen, and go for, you can really, really get a high level of accuracy with it as well. But I think having been a lifelong recurve archer, only picking up Barebow hunting tackles in the last couple of years or so, there's something freeing about it as well.
Absolutely.
So there's I describe it, but just knowing it's me, just relying on instinct. I've been shooting a long time. I know what a 20-yard. I only ever shoot at Portsmouth. I know what a 20-yard shot feels like.
Yeah.
So just knowing I can make the shot, and not with any high degree of accuracy, something freeing about making that shot at 20 yards for a bit of fun.
Absolutely, and I think when the fun, that's the key thing though. Nye, is you've got to keep the fun in it. As soon as you start overthinking it, which I'm guilty of, you know, I've absolutely been there. I started off and was having so much fun as a Barebow archer, but once you start to realise that, actually I could contend in this competition, and I'm winning things, and can begin to go, well, I want to get better, and most people will want to get better, but you can almost start to put pressure on yourself. And that can suck the fun out of it. It really can. And I've had 2021 was not a great year for me. Don't get me wrong. There are people out there who would maybe look at that year and go, God, I'd love that year. But for me, relatively, it wasn't a good year for me. And I struggled with target panic because I was putting so much pressure on myself. And to the point where I ended up speaking with Erin Pryor, who was a sports psychologist, and she had to help me through that season, and I came out the other end of it. And my following year, I relaxed a lot, and it was great. I had the best season I'd ever had. Yeah, you've got to keep the fun, otherwise it becomes hard work and miserable. It can be miserable if you just get bogged down in it.
Yeah, and like you say, that when you have expectations, it can. I've had it as well. I've had it as well where you're sort of thinking, why am I here?
Yeah.
But one thing with that is when you eventually relax and it comes back, those scores being so much more as well.
It's brilliant.
I remember one. It's a long time ago, this one, but I remember I think it was you and me were on the target together, Helen. It was back in about, and we shot together a couple of times, and I was having a dismal day. And he said to me, how come you're shooting so below par and you still seem happy? And I said, yeah, look, you weren't there when I didn't even break 300 on a Portsmouth with the recurve. So it's sort of, it's a bad day now, but 3 or 4 years ago, I'd have been over the moon at this.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's all Yeah, that's
Perspective, mate.
As long as you enjoy it, that's all that matters in this sport. Enjoy, have fun with it.
Yeah, so me and Kim, we've experienced that in other people, and it's kind of made us alter our outlook. So there's people that girls that I shoot with who I love dearly, and I love running into them in competition. They're not shooting like Sarah Hubbard and Vic Williams and people like that, but they are setting their own little goals. And they turn up at things like the National Tour and the British Target Champs, and they set their own goals. And they're not going to end up in the top, whatever. But they thoroughly enjoy themselves because they just relax into it. Like I say, they're not concentrating on what everyone else is doing. They're just in their own little bubble, shooting against their own goals, enjoying every second of it, and they're surrounded by. And I include, everybody, all of our Barebow family. We're surrounded by a really good bunch of people. So it just makes it so much easier to relax and enjoy yourself. But me and Kim have learned from these the people we know that do that and think, yeah, we should just be a bit more like them and just let's go with the flow and set ourselves our goals rather than being so hung up on having to beat this score or having to position or get on the podium or anything. Just go, shoot your best, and what happens.
And that goes for most of archery as well. If you can have that frame of mind, you're going to enjoy the sport. And I try and tell people that a lot. So thank you very much for bringing that one up. Moving on. My next question, obviously, I want to have a quick minute to talk about the National Tour. So, I'm correct in thinking that the 2022 National Tour was the first year that it's actually been put on for Barebow?
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And that would make you the first National Tour winner for Barebow for women's there. I would like to ask what the story is behind that achievement. What did it take to get you to that level?
So last year was such a good season. Last year was my best season yet, I would say. Maybe comparable to 2019 because that was a good year as well. But yeah, so once Barebow was recognised officially as a target discipline by World Archery, your other governing bodies like Archery GB over here, followed suit and officially sort of invited us to be part of the tour. So the National Tour is a series of sort of major competitions throughout the summer season, and held at different venues, and they can change each year. But basically, you go to these competitions, you do your very best, you amass points, and at the end, Archery GB will say, right, well, these archers have got the highest scores, so they're going through to the National Tour finals. And at the National Tour finals, you will shoot matches against the other girls or boys or whatever in your category for the medals and for the title of National Tour champion. So last year, like I say, was the first year for Barebows. And because the national competitions were still a bit new, we were a little bit down on numbers, but we did have Barebows at every single competition through the National Tour in varying numbers. So what Archery GB did in the end was they let us shoot all the stages as they're known and amassed our points, and then they said, right, we are going to take the top 2 through to the finals where you will shoot for the gold medal. So some of the other disciplines, because they're larger, like recurve and compound, etc., they will have semi-finals, and then they will shoot for a bronze medal and they will shoot for a gold medal. Last year, they literally just picked the top 2 of us and said, you fight it out for the gold medal on the stage. And that's what happened to me. So I shot, I think I shot 4... I think last year we only needed 3 stages out of the 5 or 6, and my third stage and Kim's as well was the British Target Champs, which was cancelled. So suddenly we were like, oh God, we've not got a third stage. So we very quickly booked ourselves into Evesham, which is another stage, and went there on one of the hottest days of the year. It was insane, the heat. Oh my goodness, we had wet towels all over us. We had people dipping blooming bucket hats in buckets. I mean, quite literally bucket hats. Yeah, it was just stupid hot. But yeah, we did it, and we he and Kim both managed to become the first and the second in the tour rankings, which meant me and her went through to the finals to shoot for the gold medal. The finals, the finals are another story. And you know, the girls that have been there this year will absolutely vouch for this. You turn up at Woollerton Hall in Nottingham, which is the most gorgeous setting, and you're faced with literally a stage to shoot from. There is staging, and there's a massive screen with your face as the cameras are pointing at you, and there's tiered seating with spectators, and there's somebody, you know, commentating, and you hear your name, and you're announced onto the stage, and it's surreal. It is surreal and very nerve-wracking, because you stood there thinking, I'm just a girl from Preston. Me and Kim were stood there going, what's going? How did we get here? But
yeah, it's very ceremonial, isn't it?
Do you know? But it's great, and it was fantastic to have Barebow involved in that at the same time. So the two lads that went through were Ralph Barwise and Wilco Van Cleef Bolton. You know, two brilliant male Barebow archers, and they loved every second of it too. And it just felt great to be up there representing our discipline for the very first time at the national tour. But the work that goes into it, you know, into our shooting, we practice non-stop for that. And I should probably have taken a leaf out of my own book this year, because I've been a little bit lax this year. But yeah, it was a lot of work, but we felt all the Barebows that turned up for it during the year, did all the stages, etc. We just thought, we need to do this for the discipline. We have been recognised by World Archery, and we've been recognised by Archery GB. So we need to do our part. If Archery GB are going to invite us to these things, then we need to be there, because if we don't use it, we will lose it. So we wanted to keep going to these stages and to represent our discipline at the finals, hoping that the following year, 2023, this year, there would be a larger number of Barebows that took part, and there was, which was great, because people had watched and thought, yeah, I'm going to do that next year, and oh, that sounds interesting, and yeah, I could quite fancy that. So we've had so many more take part this year, and it's just been incredible to see how many have turned up.
So you guys were kind of like the pioneers for pushing it forward for the first year, and everybody's like, oh, well, if them two can go and do it, so can we. So it's been good for the discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's archers that have come out this year into the national tour who are miles better than me, and I'd never heard of them until this year. But it's great to see people coming out from their sort of local shoots, which there's nothing wrong with a local shoot. I love a local shoot. But just stepping out their comfort zone a little bit and going, go on, I'll have a go at that. And just absolutely nailing it as they go. It's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant to watch all the people, all the new archers to the national scene is what I mean, not new archers necessarily. But yeah, just seeing them coming and having a go and becoming part of the wider Barebow family and smashing it.
And just one thing to pick up on what you're saying there, Helen. You said, obviously, like Neil was saying, you and Kim, the trailblazers for the national tour for Barebow. But you also said, I'm a lass from Preston, what am I doing here? Well, what would be your advice for newer archers who maybe don't feel like, competition isn't for me because, all the big archers are there, I'm not good enough. What would be your advice for archers like that, as in going
absolutely
to these shoots?
Take the plunge and have a go at it. I've met people over the years who've said, oh no, I can't compete. I shot with a girl over in Wallingford this year who found herself on a target with me and I think it was Kim, or was it me, Nadine? No, it's me, Nadine Parker and Vic Williams, and this girl had never particularly competed with us before, and she says, "Oh God, I saw the target list, and I saw that I was on the target with you three, big girls, if you will." And she says, I was so scared. I was like, "Don't be scared. We're just people. We are just archers." And I think if you want to develop in your archery, if you want to develop in your competitive archery, that is, and I'm not saying everybody wants to compete. I know there are people who are quite happy at their club flinging arrows as a hobby, and that's fine. But if you want to compete and you want to maybe progress through your competing, every so often you've got to just take that little step out of your comfort zone. So if you're just shooting at your club and you're shooting in your club competitions, maybe shoot a local competition. So for instance, if you're in Lancashire and you're sat shooting at Chorley Bowman or Pendle Bowman Samlesbury, Bowman of Pendle and Samlesbury, so I can't even get my own club name right. Think about shooting the Chorley Bowman combined or the Portsmouth or something like that, and then once you get a bit more into that, do some of the larger distances. Maybe try it's a few Windsors or things like that when you're outside. And then once you've developed from that, you can start jumping into your regional or even your national level competitions. There's nothing saying there's a hard and fast rule on how to do it. If you think you're ready, go for it. Even if you don't think you are, hold back for a little while and just wait till you are ready. But I'd definitely say go for it. I mean, anybody can do these things. And believe me, when you're with the Barebow group, even if you're jumping straight into, say, the British Championships or something like that, the British Target Champs, if you're with the Barebow group, you will be absolutely welcomed. We are a fab little group of people, and we absolutely look after each other. And you might be a first-time archer at one of these things, but we will take you under our wing, and you won't be judged. If you're picking arrows up off the floor all day long, you will not be judged by us or anybody there, because we've all done it. We've all been picking up arrows. We've all remember our first competitions. So, we do try and look out for each other.
Just going back to what you said about people seeing big names on target lists, I can recall a competition. I wasn't even shooting. In fact, I don't even think I was judging it. I think I was just there.
Yeah.
And Sarah Bettles was on the target list, and I'm stood there having a full-blown conversation with Sarah Bettles, and one of the judges turned around to me. She was like, "Do you realise who that is?" And I just took one look, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Sarah Bettles!"
Yeah. I mean, I've done it myself. Neil. I mean, when me and Kim first started competing, which was something like 2018, 2019, not so long ago. 2019, we won. No, we didn't. We got silver. Sorry. In the national county teams for the Barebow lady team, and we got our medals awarded by Naomi Falkard. I was absolutely fangirling over it, and Kim was like, "I've never heard of her." I was like, "I've never heard of her." I was like, "It's Naomi Falkard."
Well, that's what I mean. It reiterates the point that at the end of the day, they are human. They're people too. They've been through all this themselves, and they are really down to earth and supportive of the support, and
absolutely,
that's what another thing that makes archery one of the most inclusive sports that we've got in the world. Absolutely. Let's say
back to the what would I say? Believe in yourself is what I'd say to people if they just want to take that sort of step into competition. Absolutely, just believe in yourself. You don't need to believe that you'll come away with a gold medal. Just believe that you can do it and you're capable of and you deserve. You worked hard. Come for your competition. Believe in yourself. It is such a high percentage of what we do is self-belief and confidence. So just take the plunge.
Oh, thank you very much for that, Helen. Obviously, we seem to have... The reason why I've called this episode the Barebow Revolution, it really does kind of seem like to be becoming a revolution. When I first started archery, there was just one or two Barebow archers in the club.
Yeah.
The last three beginners courses alone, I think... We've had quite a high conversion rate on them, and obviously I'm the club secretary as well, so I'm taking people's details to get them through on Sport 80. And I'm like, "What bow style are you shooting, Barebow?" Barebow. The answer is always Barebow.
Awesome.
And so it's good to see, obviously, that we've got more Barebowers coming into the sport as well. But I'm curious as to what you feel may have actually caused this. Everybody seems to be going Barebow, and honestly, when I look at it, I'm sat there. Well, there's nothing really publicly out there that's promoting Barebow at the minute, at least, anyway. Because obviously, when you look at the Olympics, they see the Olympic recurve, the freestyle, and you know, anybody that's interested in archery might catch the odd compound match, but there's only really, obviously, the national tour now and the Lancaster Opens that really highlight Barebow.
Yeah.
So where do you feel like this could have come from?
Well, of course, if we're talking just target here, because there's a big Barebow contingency out there shooting field, which, you know, does get a lot of coverage. Yeah, fair enough, not on your terrestrial channels like the BBC, etc. But it's out there, and you've got YouTubers and things like that who are obviously very talented archers as well, not just a YouTuber, but in terms of like Jake Kaminsky and people like that. So he's doing a lot for it. You mentioned Lancaster. So the Lancaster Classic, anybody I meet that is a club level Barebower that I've talked to in the last couple of years always seem to have seen the Lancaster Classic because it is a big event for Barebows. Lancaster Classic in America is the absolute stage for target archers that shoot Barebow, basically indoors. It's just so celebrated, and you know, you're up there against hundreds of them. So and people come from all over the world to shoot it, and it's just a great showcase of the discipline. But I think on the other side of it, in this country, I think because now we've got the 50 metre round, which is our standard, our sort of ranking round for Barebows. And of course, you've got all your indoor distances as well. Your 18, you know, your WA 18, which is 18 metres, and your Portsmouth at 20 yards and things like that. They're nice, easy starters and can be very quickly quite comfortable for people. But the outdoor one, the 50 metres, has just made it a little bit more accessible. I used to meet people who said, I can't possibly shoot 70 metres, can't shoot 80 yards for girls. For the men, they shoot 100 yards on a York round here in Britain, and 90 metres on the WA 1440 round. And they were going, I couldn't possibly do that. Whereas the 50 metres, that's an achievable distance for people. We know the juniors will shoot 50 metres. Some of them, the older juniors, will shoot 50 metres. People who are fairly new to outdoor competition can get to 50 metres. You don't have to have the most heavy bow in terms of poundage to reach 50 metres. You know, so I think that has encouraged a lot of people to start stepping into competition wise as a Barebow. In terms of your Barebow increase in beginners courses, I think yeah, it's just people are given the chance more to try Barebow in their beginners courses. A lot of places didn't do that, and I'm sure there's a lot of places still that don't do that. But I know there's an increase in clubs giving people a chance. I think once you try it, it's, you know, it just catches you. I really do think it catches you. Yeah, I think it's just the kind of accessibility. It's not costly. You don't have to buy all your your stabilizers and your clickers and your sights and all that. I still seem to have the world's heaviest bow bag, but I don't know what I've got in it, but it's heavy. But yeah, you don't have to spend a fortune. You don't have to buy all these bits. You literally buy your string, your riser, your limbs, and you're away with it, really. You press a button, but yeah. So it's not expensive to begin with. It's fairly easy to get into, and it's becoming more and more accepted by clubs in their beginners courses, really.
You know, we're saying about being more accepted. I think it was back in about 2013 or so. I think at Lancashire County Championships, I think there might have been 5 Barebow archers across ladies and gents divisions. But do you think now that's probably half one division?
Oh yeah,
as opposed to being the whole Barebow, the entire Barebow contingent as well.
I mean, in Lancashire alone, if you look at the sort of the sort of higher end of the Barebow spectrum in the UK, Lancashire alone has at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 of the top Barebow archers just in the county. But yeah, I remember going to competitions and there was me and Kim, and that was it, you know. And it was like, well, we're going to get first and second today. Now you can turn up, and there's a whole load of us. It's great fun.
Yeah, there's no more winning by default. You've got to earn it now.
No, absolutely not. No, and that's great because it brings the competition, and that's what if you're truly competitive, that's what you want. You know, it's just you don't want to be turning up and not really shooting against anybody apart from yourself. Obviously, you should always shoot against yourself, but it's always nice to have some other competition.
So it's come to that time in our show where we have a look at any upcoming tournaments that are worth a look at from around the region or the counties. So this is our first time having a guest on the show, so we'll hand over to you, Helen. So if you've got anything that you would recommend to anybody in the near future.
Well, of course, October brings the indoor season, doesn't it? Which I have to say for me is usually the dreaded indoor season. I tend to go to bits a little bit when it comes to indoors, but this year I'm throwing myself kind of at it and hoping it all works out. So yeah, I've got a few coming up. I'm going to mostly local or at least almost sort of regional, really. So I'm going over to Spinners Mill in Lee. I'm going to do a WA18 there. And I'm going to do a double one of those in, what was Gronant Bowman, but I believe they've changed their name. I'm terrible with Welsh. But is it Llwyd?
Llwyd Bowman.
I apologise to any Welsh people out there for my pronunciation.
Butchering the Welsh there, why not?
Oh dear, I'm really sorry.
Is this the time I tell you I'm Welsh, Helen?
And I lived in Wales for about 15 years too.
Right, so how do you say it?
Yeah, my granddad was Welsh. I just said Llwyd.
Right,
if it's double D at the end, it's a th sound.
Llwyd. And like the Flin Peninsula.
It could well be a double D. I don't know. I haven't spelt it like that on my little list, but I'm a terrible.
Either way, we apologise to anyone from North Wales.
Well, anyway, they're lovely people, and I'm going to go there and shoot a double with them over in Bill.
What date's that one again, Helen? What date's that one again?
According to me, it's the 22nd of October over in Rill.
Oh, I'm trying to look for some indoor tournaments this calendar year as well. I've got all the next year's sorted, but yeah, I'll keep an eye on that one as well.
And Tim and I are going to. Oh, go on.
Just wanted to do a shout out there to Spinners Mill as well. That competition is on the 15th. That is the UKRS WA18. Entry forms are on lancashirearchery.org.
Yeah, it's a nice little place, Spinners. Good people as well. And then 26th of November, I've got a combined in Penrith.
Oh, coming up my neck of woods.
Coming up your way. So I thought
I'll see you there.
My passport, so they'll let me into Cumbria.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and do the combined there, which of course is 25 metres and 18 metres, isn't it? It's always good fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're kind of the more local, regional kind of level ones that I'll be doing coming up. I have loads more that I'll eventually book in for. But my biggie really is the National Indoor Champs. I mean. And I'm not even an indoor fan, but the National Indoor Champs, it's a massive event. hundreds of archers, and a huge sort of great big unit that we all shoot in, and the stalls, and there's people from all over the country, and you shoot WA18, and then you go into head-to-head matches if you make the cut. And this year they've added an extra day or an extra session of qualification, so yeah, it should be good. I only did my first one last year, and I didn't do particularly well, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself, so I'm going to go again this year.
Yeah, that National Indoors is definitely worth a visit, because I think I've missed out on the two big shoots I was planning. I was going to give that one a miss because I was going into the Kings of Archery, but then I was away camping when it was on, and by the time I checked me internet, I missed both of them.
Yeah, Kings. Yeah, there's a few people I know that are going to do Kings of Archery over in Eindhoven, isn't it, in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Maybe another year for me, but not this year. I've got a few other things that I have to fork out for. But
we'll go next year, Helen. We'll get a road trip going next year.
Absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, National Indoors is a great one, and it's there's people, they do the junior one as well, don't they, on the Sunday? I think.
Yeah. I think was that the day? Yeah, that was the day after, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. One. And there's just such talent there, and there's people of all abilities, if you will.
I mean, even I went there. I went there, and I finished mid-table in the local recurve, and even I'm there.
I finished mid-table in the Barebows. It was mad.
I don't even think I got on the table.
You can don't be daft. But what you get is you can, you might get some archers who are fantastic outdoors, but they might struggle a little bit indoors. So I'm definitely one of them. Outdoors I'm generally quite relaxed. Generally, I mean, I've struggled this year, but yeah, I'm a lot more relaxed than I am indoors. So my indoors takes some real sort of work for me, so I won't feature quite so high doors as I did outdoors, perhaps. But I do sort of enter these things to try and sort of get my panic over and to try and enjoy them again, really, and just be around everybody. I love seeing everybody.
It's the social side. For me, it's definitely the social side on these competitions.
Yeah.
It's the bacon butties for me. I'll be honest.
If you want a good bacon butty, Neil, get yourself up to Ashington. Go get to Green Lane Archers in Ashington. Big shout out to them guys, because I love them. And they will put on the NCAS Feet of Stars, so it's a 1440. And the guy who I'm sorry,
Trev who organised.
I'm trying to think of the name of the guy who does the bacon butties.
Oh, I didn't go over there enough because I'm veggie, so I didn't go for him.
Oh, nah, man. Well, that's fair enough, but he does them. I can guarantee they are. Yeah, they're brilliant, awesome.
Oh, have I told you about my boot, Helen?
Oh, what happened with your boot?
I got changed. I was changing my footwear over. Took one of my boots out of my car. I've left it there, so I'm now going up there. Yeah, I get home, realise, oh, bummer, I've left him. So yeah, so I'm going back up there for the Imperial Clout on Sunday the 10th of September.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, because I'm going up in October, so I'd have picked it up for you if you weren't going.
Oh, if I'd have known that. That'll be nice, go up there and get another clout in.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's good. It's some good stuff coming up. And I don't know what the new year will bring, but Kim tends to just message me and go, "This is happening on this day. What do you reckon?" And I'm like, "Yeah, book us in." Book us in and tell me what I owe you.
Now, what have you got lined up?
I've only got a couple, apart from the one Helen's mentioned up in Penrith. Last weekend of the month. 30th September, 1st of October, got Kendall double clout. So the double Imperial Clout in the morning, or on the Saturday, double Imperial Clout on the Sunday. So a flag in the ground, 180 yards away. Just land my arrows as close to that as I can. And that's my next competition. Then obviously got the one in Penrith that Helen's going to, and yeah, the only other one I've got is a feature 18 and head-to-head up at Penrith a bit earlier at the end of October. So that's a good one if you're wanting to, good one, because it's you don't often get chance to have practice matches at head-to-head, so I thought, yeah, why not? Hey, you never know, might win a couple of sets next time.
Awesome.
Maybe.
I got first time I went there, I got thrashed 6-0. Last time I was up there, I got Jesse beat me 6-2. So I'm hoping, you never know, if I can make it 6-4, I'll be happy with that.
Smash it.
Nice.
And it's a good day. If nothing else, it's a good day out and a chance to shoot against some really good archers as well and have a good laugh while you're at it.
Yeah.
And I think otherwise that's my they're the ones I've got lined up. I think, Neil.
So, as we conclude this electrifying episode on the Barebow Revolution with the remarkable Helen Brown, who I'd like to thank for joining us today, we hope you've been inspired by the transformative power of this archery movement. Helen's journey from novice to champion and her insights into Barebow archery's inclusivity are testament to the sport's enduring appeal. Whether you're an archery enthusiast or a newcomer to the bow and arrow, we trust that Helen's experiences have ignited your passion for this timeless discipline. Stay tuned for more riveting episodes, as next episode we continue to explore the diverse facets of archery with our special guest who's just joined the national tour herself, recurve archer Zara Longlands, bringing you her stories and conversations that inspire and empower. Until next time, keep aiming for your own personal revolution in archery and beyond. Before we sign off, we want to hear from you guys, our amazing listeners. If you have any questions, stories or insights you'd like to share, we'd love to feature your voice on our next episode. Just hit that recording button on your phone or computer and send your voice clip to us. You could be part of the conversation. Plus, we are building a vibrant archery community on our Discord server. It's the perfect place to connect with fellow archers, share your experiences and stay updated on all things Unstrung archery. You'll find the links to both our voice submission platform and our Discord server on our Linktree or in the episode description below. Your voice matters and we can't wait to have you join the discussion. Until next time, keep those questions coming and stay safe in your archery journey.